Hello, welcome to the weather update. It is the 2nd of July, and, another humid day, and depending on where you were, it depends on what you got. Unfortunately, in this part, most of Nassau County, we didn't really get any thunderstorms at all, but if you were on the North Shore of Suffolk, you got quite a few. They actually kept popping up along the sea breeze frontal boundary. And it was pretty, warm and humid. A lot of sun today, so it was one more sun than I expected. So it got up there. But let's go look at some of what the skies look like today before I forget. This is what it looked like around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You can see the building cumulus in the sky there. Absolutely amazing. Look at these beautiful cumulus clouds. Here's just building right over us here in Mineola with the sea breeze front just to the north. It was quite nice to look at. And here's another picture of it. Yeah, that was quite nice. Then I got to the South Shore, and then there were a couple of cells out over the ocean. Here's a cell that was out over the ocean here. But a much stronger storm actually wound up developing over central New Jersey. But it stayed offshore, and that's kind of like what it looked like there. It's very beautiful thunderstorm formation there. Very nice. There it is. Real nice cumulonimbus cloud off to the south there, looking south of Belmore. This was around 7 o'clock or so. Yeah, very nice. And there it is in Rockville Center about an hour later, around 8 o'clock. And you can see there is that massive thunderstorm off to the east there of us. Real massive storm. Really impressive looking. And then we had some more off to the north. You can see some cumulonimbus there off to the north. And some pretty skies as well overhead with some altocumulus. So, yes, we got some nice skies to look at today. So let's take a look at the current conditions outside. Yeah, we got to talk about a tropical storm, too, that has formed as well. So we got a busy, somewhat busy night with the weather once again here. And you'll see here 78 degrees reporting, and that's about right because in the alley, this is what we got in the alley. It's actually 81 in the alley. It's really just, you get to this neighborhood and you're just dying. You feel like you're going to faint from the heat. It's ridiculous. But cooler on the South Shore. Temperatures generally the low to mid 70s there. You can see definitely quite warm in the middle of Nassau County on the North Shore. You can see that heat in the city as well. We throw the dew points in here. It's still humid out there. Dew point still 68, a little bit lower than 70, maybe a little bit less than it was earlier. But you can see islip though, 73 with a dew point of 70. So let's go look at the high temperatures, and we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the high and the amount of highs and the amount of precipitation we got today. So pretty similar to yesterday. 84 for a high at islip, 82. Sure, a little cooler out east, and you got to remember they had more thunderstorm activity out there, so they didn't have as much sunshine. But in here in Nassau, we had plenty of sunshine. It looks like I don't buy that 94, but I believe it was probably around 88 to 90 degrees here in Mineola for a high. And then the city, 91 at LaGuardia, 86 at Central Park. And then, of course, if you go to New Jersey again, this is where it really heats up. Let's see what they were doing, how they did there. So they got some 90s. Let's see Toms River. So 92 in downtown Toms River, 93 at Miller Air Park. So, yeah, and I'm sure if we looked at most of the day, if we go look at the observations for most of the day here, you'll see here that, and it's even more humid there with the dew point 73. You'll see again, though, that they stayed in the 80s a lot longer. So they were in the 90s most of the day. It looks like most of the afternoon they were in the 90s, right up until probably 5 o'clock or so. Whereas here, we were more or less in the 80s by that time. By 3, 4 o'clock, we were back down to the 80s. So it was definitely worse there. But I want to look at the rainfall amounts. So we're going to go to the precipitation. We'll actually go through a couple of these here. Let's go to precipitation here, and you'll see actually not a whole lot of rain being reported here in Jersey. But it was the North Shore of Suffolk County that wound up getting to see some rain, even though there aren't a whole lot of rainfall reports. Oh, this is only 8 to 9 o'clock. So that's why I hate using this thing. I'm going to move this back to midnight. Now we should get some more rainfall totals. There we go. So you can see here Suffolk County, half an inch of rain. Northern half of Suffolk County. Look at the Pine Barrens and Ridge. 1.06 inches of rain in Ridge. So that whole area got a lot of rain. But here we got nothing. Absolutely nothing out of it. If we go look at Jersey, you can see that southern Monmouth got some storms. But down in Ocean County, nothing. So some areas just got nothing. And we look at the current radar here, you'll see all the activity is kind of dying down and fizzling out now. So there probably won't be any more storms to or showers and thunderstorms to contend with. But there's some of these thunderstorms did have severe warnings out for them. If we were to look at the National Weather Service, you'll see if we scroll through their Twitter feed here. There was a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for Connecticut and New Jersey. You can see a bunch of special weather statements here as we scroll down. Special marine warning, that was from that cell we took a picture of there. And you can see some special marine warnings for Suffolk County and severe thunderstorm warnings for Connecticut. There were a few out for Long Island as well. This was all actually developed along a sea breeze front, believe it or not. So if we go and look at, yes, the sea breeze front actually caused this. So we're going to actually go to the Vent2 Sky and show you the radar rewind. So we're going to rewind the radar for you and show you what was going on through most of the day. So this is noon. All right, not too much activity. 2, 3 o'clock. This is when the stuff starts popping up. Sea breeze front right along the North Shore. And this is the focal point for the showers and thunderstorms that developed mainly north of the L.I.E. and generally in Suffolk County. But we didn't get any of it here. And it all kept forming in the same area, too. And there was that other batch that formed to the south of us. You can see another cell right there in that same area. So generally, that northern part of Suffolk County, they got a good amount of rain out there. We're going to actually go and look at some more rainfall observations as well out of this, too. So they got a good amount of rain, but unfortunately, for New Jersey, they got nothing, butt kiss. So let's go to the one-to-ground site now. And we're going to go to the precipitation. And you'll see what I mean when we get out there. So nothing. Pretty much nothing for our area. We're just scoring donuts and zeros here. But as you head out east, look what happens here. Looks like Hauppaugue. We have 1.21 inches. Hauppaugue in particular. Look at this. Hauppaugue and Smithtown really wound up getting a lot of rain. Over an inch because that was like the focal point for a lot of the activity around Hauppaugue and Smithtown. Over an inch of rain. That goes into Lake Grove. So you can see, look at this. Lake Grove also seeing that. Over an inch of rain. 1.56 inches of rain in Lake Grove. Very interesting. Go to the South Shore, nothing. All right. Going into Selden, you'll also see 1.38. So really, 1.31 in Middle Island. Look at this, a 2.07 being reported in Miller Place. So the northern part of the Pine Barrens really got a lot of rain. 2.38 being reported in this area of ridge by Lake Panamoka. So again, 1.19, 1.17 in ridge. So it's very, very interesting to see what happened. You can see this also goes out in the riverhead. Inch-plus amounts in rainfall. Very, very impressive to see this. And even out toward the north, east end, you got some inch-plus amounts. They got some showers and thunderstorms this morning as well. So, but we didn't get anything. We didn't get any of it here. This is very, very localized. And the reason why is fairly simple. If we draw out on the map, here, pull this out a little more. You had the sea breeze coming in off the ocean. So you have this nice sea breeze coming in off the ocean here. And what this is doing is this is creating what you call a sea breeze frontal boundary right about over here, right around the L.I.E. All right, so this whole area right here, just right about the L.I.E., just north of the L.I.E., there's a sea breeze frontal boundary there. It hits the warm air, and the warm air rises and condenses into these thunderstorms, which is what you see right here. So you see this. That is where the thunderstorms are forming, right in this area right here. It's the lifting mechanism that caused that. And, of course, you do have the Pine Barrens over here, which does heat up relatively quickly, which also helps aid in the formation of these thunderstorms. So it's very, very interesting to see this kind of microclimate develop. Very interesting. The models really actually did a good job indicating that, I got to say. So let's go now to the National Hurricane Center. Say hello to Colin. That's right. Tropical Storm Colin. It's a very small storm, but we're going to read the public advisory on it. Colin continued to become less organized. Heavy rains and gusty winds remain off the Carolina coast. As of 8 p.m., its location 34 north, 78.4 west, 35 miles west-southwest of Wilmington, North Carolina. Maximum sustained winds only 40 miles an hour. It's moving northeast at 7 miles an hour. But still, to see a storm form this early in the game is really unusual. Here you go. Here's where the tropical storm warnings are in effect for mostly the North Carolina Outer Banks area, and that's it. And it's going to stay offshore. It's a very small storm. Let's go look at it here. Here's Tropical Storm Colin. Not much to see at all, so I'm not really going to spend much time on that. Let's go now to the rest of the weekend for you. Looking at the rest of the weekend, we do have this cold front that is slowly sinking southward. So if we look at the HRRR 0Z, you'll see there may still be a chance for shower thunderstorm. Can't rule it out completely. We're not out of the woods until probably after sunrise tomorrow. But look at this. It's still trying to bring some rain in over us. Here's tomorrow. Late morning, still a little bit of lingering shower activity. This front is very slow moving. That's why we didn't get an organized line of severe thunderstorms with it. But the good news is after that, we should have a dry day. July 4th should be very nice indeed. So let's go look at the dew points here, because they will be slowly coming down. You'll see the drier air start to build in. Finally tomorrow, you'll see, mainly over Long Island, you'll see dew points drop. And then that air will push a little more to the south on Monday, with north to northeast winds then becoming east, and then switching around to the south by evening. Let's go look at the temperatures tomorrow, and your high temperatures will generally be in the probably mid-80s, low to mid-80s, slightly above normal, but plenty warm enough. Lows at night in the low to mid-60s, and then for Monday, a little bit cooler on Monday with the north to easterly flow. I think we'll have low 80s. I think Monday is going to definitely be the nicer day, more comfortable, and probably a better sky too. But unfortunately, it's July 4th, and that limits, because Suffolk County Transit doesn't feel like running on holidays. Limits my ability to go to the Pine Barrens, which kind of sucks unless I want to go to New Jersey. So let's go look at the skies, and you'll see it will clear out, though, later on in the day tomorrow, probably after 2 o'clock. Especially western parts of Long Island, you'll start getting clear sunshine. And then for your Monday, we'll have more sunshine. Maybe some scattered cirrus, mainly north. So scattered cirrus, but it'll still be a really nice day compared to this disgusting humidity that we have been dealing with. But I think that's going to bring this weather update to an end. So a very interesting day across the area with this storms and then the sea breeze frontal boundary. It was very interesting to see. And again, if we look at the Ventus sky, we can show you exactly kind of, if you rewind the Ventus sky, you can see where that sea breeze frontal boundary is, sort of. And it really, you can sort of see it right here. This is 3 o'clock, and you can clearly see where that frontal boundary is and where it's going to lift. Right there. It's more like over here, but it's going to cause the lift in the atmosphere and act like a cold front and actually trigger these thunderstorms to keep popping over the same areas. That's why they got so much rain in that area, while the rest of us were left kind of high and dry. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Have a good night.